Hello, everyone, and welcome to Fitness Master Class, your inspiration source for knowledge and motivation to start living fit now. Hi, I'm your host, Laura Mack, lifestyle fitness coach and personal trainer, and I look forward to bringing you cutting edge guests who will give you inspiration ready so you can attack your goals. But first, let me give a special thank you to our sponsors, which is Greek Egg Whites International. And this is a product that is awesome. I've been using it for over 10 years, and it's perfect from kiddos all the way to seniors and everyone in between. I used it actually when I was a professional athlete, and it was awesome because I could just mix it together. I used it with my coffee or with protein powder or any other type of mixture to make it into a smoothie and give me extra protein. So if you're interested in trying some out, you can call back from Egg Whites and just use the Laura Mac Fitness code. But now let's get started with why we're really here today to welcome our special guest, Linda Mitchell. We're so excited to have you here today, Linda. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, thank you so much for having me on your podcast, Laura. It's a thrill.
Excellent. Well, I just wanted to go over a little bit about Linda's background. She's the owner of ChickFit Studio, which opened a little over 2 years ago. She is an author of The Sisterhood of Sweat, which I'm so excited she's going to tell us a little bit more about that later. She's an Institute of Integrative Nutrition graduate, which I'm so excited to hear more information about that. And she's an elite obstacle racer as well as an award-winning fitness competitor. So, Linda, can you expand a little bit more on your background?
Yes, I was in group fitness for about 25 years, and I just felt in my heart that I wanted to do something that made more lasting changes in people's lives. So I decided to open a studio, which is now called the ChickFit Studio in Mason, Ohio, for women. I decided to go in a completely new direction. I had always, worked in the gym, and that's all I really knew was just, working in the gym and doing the same thing. And I really wanted to reach out to people that weren't getting into the gym industry so much. And, that's more of your normal everyday people. A lot of them just don't really get into that whole gym mania. And so I created this whole community where we, as women, we support each other. We have, we have each other's back. It's all about building self-esteem and confidence and just getting together as women and building each other up. And I feel like, go ahead.
Do you have personal training sessions, or do you do group sessions, or is it open for anyone to come and go for their training?
Okay, so we do a lot of group training. A lot of that. I do a lot of boot camp type classes, which would be like doing personal training, only in a group. So you get the motivation of the group, which pushes people forward, and they feel that support and that motivation from participating in the group. And then equally, they're getting supervision from me, so they're getting the full package. And I found that they adhere to it so much better when they're coming in the group, in the group situation.
So when you talk about investing in yourself, let's expand a little bit more about that. Are you talking about spending more on things that are good for you, or more with your exercise? Which areas do you like to emphasize when you say investing more in yourself?
Well, I think a lot of times that women don't make themselves a priority because we are the caretakers and the nurturers, and we a lot of times put ourselves last on the list, and that we need to realize that to be able to give to everyone else, we have to fill our cup up first. I mean, of course, if your child is, up at 2 in the morning, you're going to take care of your child first. But I mean, on a realistic basis, you need to set time aside for yourself and nurture yourself first so that you can give to your family and you're happier. You're a whole lot better if you're taking care of you. You're going to be a lot happier. You're going to be a better mother. You're going to be a better employee, a better wife, everything across the board. And if you don't think you're worth it, a lot of it comes down to confidence. If you won't invest in yourself. And so I think that it comes down to realizing that you are worth taking the time for, and that anytime like you spend in the gym, or you spend on maybe like education or a personal trainer or nutrition class, is worth it. Anytime you invest in yourself, it pays dividends.
Absolutely. I completely agree with that. And especially right now, I'm a mom with two kids under 5, so it's not a big thing. But I know those days that I get in my exercise and I'm eating well, those days are the ones that I absolutely have more energy. But of course, I have to listen to my body. There's some days where I'm, a bit cross-eyed, what's best for my body is to actually rest it, or else to do stretching that day, that evening. Like, there's some days you just can't physically exercise because of your exhaustion level. But if you can push through philosophy, like, if I'm going to feel tired, I might as well get a little bit of a workout in and feel like I'm getting credit for it, right? So I
Absolutely.
invest in myself and make sure I'm taking care of myself and really, doing that as a role model for my clients as well. Like, because I work with a lot of moms too, and so reminding them that it is okay to help yourself feel better. So then you're gonna be a better mom, a better wife, better at work. Just like you said, it's so important that we take care of ourselves.
Oh yeah, and I think too, when we as women, we want to make everyone happy. Okay, we want to make our husband happy. We want to make our kids happy. We give a lot, and you need to also include yourself in that giving. Give to yourself too, and invest in yourself. And I think sometimes we're afraid to invest in ourselves because we feel selfish, and it's not selfish, it's self-care. And it's you don't need to ask anybody's permission to invest in yourself. That would be another thing. Just believe that you're worth it. Take that step, and even if it's 10-15 minutes a day, take that time for yourself, because it's going to pay off.
I completely agree with that. Even if it's broken down, like you said, the 10 or 15 minutes, if you get a little bit in the morning or a little bit in the afternoon, during that afternoon nap, or during the sports, or whatever your schedule permits, every little bit counts, and it does add up. Really, I think this could even tie into our next conversation point, which is unhooking from perfectionism. Even if you're breaking your workout to 15 minutes, it doesn't mean it's not perfect, because it's not a 30-minute workout. It's going to be perfect for that day, and reminding yourself of that label of the perfectionism, that really it's so hard to actually achieve perfectionism, so we actually need to remove ourselves from it.
Yes, one of the biggest things is I'll have a client that she's a mom, she has, a million hats going, she's working, her job, she's got to drop one child off at preschool, she's got to, pack lunch and get the other one off, and it's just, it's a circus. There's a lot to do when you have 2-3 kids.
Yeah.
And what will happen is she'll get on a plan, she'll be all gung-ho to do the nutrition, and then maybe she wasn't as prepared for her day, and so she grabs something she's not, that's not on her plan. Well, it's not all or nothing, so if you miss a meal and you have something that wasn't on your plan, don't beat yourself up about it. It's not all or nothing. If you do at least 70% when you start, that's a start. Don't like be, sometimes when you say, oh, it's just all or nothing, I quit, I give up, then it's nothing pretty soon. So what I would encourage everyone to do is to give yourself a pass, to suck until you don't, and just every day is a learning experience. You're trying to be more, mindful about what you're eating and what your kids are eating, and don't beat yourself up about it. Okay, so you had something that was off plan, but you don't need to be perfect to get results. You just need to stick with it and keep trying and keep finding new ways to fit it into your life.
Yeah, it's so true. I agree. I feel like a lot of times, like, oh, I blew it at lunchtime, so I might as well blow it at dinner and then at dinner snack. But if it's one meal, then just get right back on the bandwagon. You've got your nutrition list, or you've got your meal plan that you're working through. You know what? If, like you said, if that day's 70%, then you know what? Go for 80% tomorrow. So, and I think, even if you cook one meal at a time and you're like, okay, great, I got 20% there and I got 80% here because I gave the carrots to my child, so I didn't eat extras, and so it's just not going out. So I think giving yourself leniency and then getting right back on that program. And I think really reminding yourself, why are you doing this? And I think it really ties into the next point of defining what is your why and why are you doing it? How do you work with clients and when you're getting them started, how do you best define their why?
Well, I think it's one of the most important things to discover when you're training clients, because it is what is the difference between them getting up when they have a full schedule at 5:45 or 5 o'clock a.m. to go to my boot camp, my first sweat of the day. When they go to class, if they don't have a strong reason why, that bed is going to feel awful good to them. So they need to find like that. I encourage them to find that motivation, right?
Mm-hmm.
Did you say to get out of the bed? And just the thing is if you have a reason why, you're going to be so much more motivated to do your workouts, to train, to eat better. I have them setting goals. That is, the whole thing is, if you don't have a why and a measurement, then how do you know what you're reaching for? You can't achieve what you don't set, or what you're not, you don't have a bar of what you're trying to achieve.
Exactly. You have to, like you said, you have to set a goal, and then you have to work towards that goal. But if you don't know what you're working for, then how will you know you've achieved it? Do you have like a set of like 3 questions that you ask each person to help them find why? Whether it's like their certain amount of weight loss, like certain questions you ask clients before getting started that really help them kind of do some self-reflection and figuring out what their why actually is.
Everybody's a little bit different, but I usually ask them what is their burning desire in their heart of hearts that they want, that they want more than anything, and that no dream or vision or goal is too small or too big, and to just fully allow themselves to answer that question. What is their big dream? I usually ask them, what is your big dream? What is your big dream? What would motivate you to get out of bed in the morning for your workout? What would push you forward to do an extra 20 minutes or, in your day of cardio activity? And so it's got to be about what they want versus what I think. because yeah. So I usually ask them what their big dream is. That is one of the biggest things I ask. And when was the last time they were in the best shape of their lives? And is there any reason why they wouldn't be able to be there again? I mean, sometimes you just have to ask question after question so they can find their own answer, because they know what the answer is. You just have to pull it out.
Yeah, I think you're in that position, especially you that's working out with a lot of clients and one-on-one and small groups, trying to figure out, okay, let me see what really motivates this client, and now I need to know what motivates this client to really keep them inspired. And if I can do these things for client A and these things for client B, then I can throw them out there in your mind and it's getting you a little bit closer to your first goal. And you've already accomplished your first goal, so let's work on goal number two, and here's for that. I think as trainers, that's so important, especially when we get working with a wide variety of clients or more than one at a time. You really have to be on your P's and Q's to remember each for the clients and different training styles for different personality types, and just really to be that encouraging person for the type of encouragement that they need, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And a lot of times I just remind them that to reach their goals, if it's a lofty goal, they need to be on a mission.
Yeah.
Not just a journey. A journey, you could be kind of tossed around by the wind. You don't know exactly where you're going. A mission, you got something to accomplish. So generally, I want them to find what that mission is.
And so how do you keep them motivated? Do you do like short-term goal setting with them or long-term or like kind of a monthly goal or a weekly goal? How do you break it down with your clients?
Usually, if they give me, I want them to work backwards, so I want them to find the long-term goal first, what they really want, and then we work backwards from that to set the short-term goals. So if you really want to, be feeling good and lose 20, 30 pounds and be rocking it on a cruise with your husband and your evening out, or whatever your goal is, or your class reunion, you want to look good, then we work backwards from that. So we would start with what it's going to take to get to that point, your destination point, and break it down in small, actionable steps of what they need to accomplish each month to get there, so that it's doable, because a lot of times you're looking at a goal way out there and it just seems overwhelming and you feel like you can never reach it. So if I give you a goal each month to achieve, then you knock that off and pretty soon you're rocking it.
Right. That's an excellent way to do it, is to start with the big goal and break that down into smaller goals that you can achieve along the way, and then celebrate that you've achieved it. Because I think that's important too. I think sometimes we get so busy in the hustle and bustle of the day that we forget when we achieve the goal to actually celebrate it and really enjoy that moment before getting going to the next goal.
Absolutely. That goes back to hooking from perfection there again. A lot of times people never celebrate because they want to be perfect and they're not perfect, and then they pick themselves apart. They'll be like, my butt is too big, my stomach, and I'm looking at them thinking, oh my gosh, have you looked at yourself lately? Look at your arms and look how healthy and how tall and just how shapely you're getting. Look at all the benefits, or so many benefits, but they'll just focus in on that one flaw. I say, like, separate yourself from focusing on those flaws and focus on the positive, and the flaws are going to start disappearing.
Right, absolutely. I totally agree with that. Yeah, I remember having one client that's getting started never did push-ups before. We celebrated at 5, and within a month or two, I mean, she was up to like 30 push-ups. It was amazing. Good, solid push-ups. And she's like, wow, I've never felt this strong before. I'm like, that's an awesome thing. I know. We're gonna celebrate that. That's great. And she, the day that she did 30, like that weekend, she showed her husband how many she could do, and he was just amazed. He's like, I didn't know you could do that many. And so I think it's really great to celebrate in that. It's so important. It kind of gives you that,
It is.
a little bit more, and then a little bit more. I think for me, when I'm working with clients, I usually start on the physical side first, and then, within a week or two, they're like, oh, what can I do for my nutrition? And I said, well, let's concentrate a little bit more on just the physical part. But why don't we do one thing like take out the breads and the flours and the white grains? Let's do one simple thing. And that's it. What are some of the things that you recommend as far as like, let's even just start with easy snacks. What are some snack tips that you recommend for your clients?
Well, I like to have my clients have some easy go-tos that, because I know a lot of the time we're not going to be perfect. We're not going to be 100% prepared. So you got to have some easy things to go to. And also, you may be sitting next to your husband who isn't on the plan, and he's snacking and he's watching the Super Bowl, and he's, that makes you want to eat. So you got to have snacks on hand. So I have a list, and I kind of prepared it, of things that I like to have my girls have. So like 100-calorie snack. So if they could just have that 100-calorie snack handy, like some grapes, an apple, a boiled egg with some, almond butter, like on the side, not on the egg. But, like I like some rice cakes maybe with some almond butter. Like I have like a whole list I give them that I'd be glad to pass on to everybody. But it's just to have these easy snacks that you could just at the minute have on hand, or you could eat at a board meeting, or just something easy that's transportable. So I generally try to give them the 100-calorie snack, and that usually satisfies. It usually satisfies if you're eating all your other meals. So some of the things that I like to do and that are in my book, I have protein bars that we make. We make homemade protein bars, and they cost less than $1, and they're clean, and they don't have all that sugar in them, that you're getting on the market. So we'll make up a 13 by 9 pan of our own protein bars that are 40 calories, and they taste great, and they're clean, and they're healthy. You're not going to die of cancer. There's no artificial ingredients, but the only thing is you have to, eat them within the 4 days, because they will go bad because they are fresh.
The 5 biggest ingredients that are in your protein. And then we can also but give us a
yeah, absolutely. Okay, so generally I use a very clean protein powder that has only 5 ingredients or less. I don't want any artificial sweeteners, and no chemicals, and no additives, no preservatives. So I have a couple really great protein powders that I recommend. So you're having protein. You're having egg whites, which is additional protein. I like to use either applesauce, or like unsweetened organic applesauce, or blueberries pureed in your little NutriBullet. A lot of times I'll use pumpkin or squash, anything like that, instead of added fat, to make them moist. And I have a couple different flours I use. It depends on who you are, what you need. But I like to use Namaste Perfect Blend for a lot of my protein bars, because it's gluten-free. and wheat free, and it's free of all the things that most people are gonna be allergic to. Also, oat flour. Oat
Okay.
flour,
I love oat flour too.
I love the way it makes the bars taste. I grind the oatmeal myself sometimes. It's less expensive, and or I'll buy Bob's Mills, some of his. I like
Oh,
a
like
lot of his.
do you use, or do you use like regular oat-based oats?
I use what kind of oats did you ask me? I didn't get it.
Steel cut oats, or do you use
Oh,
regular?
you can use steel cut oats,
Okay.
but it depends on what texture you want. So generally, we use the rolled oats.
Rolled oats. Okay.
I'll get gluten-free, but really no oatmeal is gluten-free. I hate to tell you. There's always going to be a little trace of gluten,
A little
even
bit,
if they
yeah.
say it's gluten-free. But 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 I mean, at least it's better. It's better. And I generally use an aluminum-free baking
Mhm.
soda or powder,
Okay.
depending on the recipe. But I have all kinds of flavors, any flavor you want,
Mhm.
pretty much.
You
And
said
so we do those.
aluminum free. Why do you choose aluminum free? Because not all of our listeners might not understand why aluminum free.
Because a lot of people that have Alzheimer's, they've found aluminum in their brain. And so that's the biggest reason. And you really don't want to have any kind of metals in your body if you can help it. So I try completely no aluminum if I can.
Okay, that's great. I just wanted to make sure that our all of our viewers understood that as well, because I think it's a really good point. Especially as we're getting older, we want to be more conscious of what we're putting into our bodies. So I think it's a really good point to bring up.
I think about it more now, but I mean, I just had my birthday. I'm 54, so you
No,
start thinking
no
about.
one would ever guess it. I still don't know if I'm 80 yet.
I'm like, I told my husband, I said, I think I got an ARP card in the mail. I'm like, I don't think I'm ready for that, but
Ready for that yet? I will say
yeah,
it's a great walking billboard for what healthy living can do. Because, I mean, you look 10, 15 years younger than what you really are. And so that's what taking care of yourself is, making sure you're exercising your body and feeding it with good, healthy foods and giving yourself rest and, time for prayer, meditation, and making it a whole, complete self-care versus like one thing here and one thing there. I think you're a good example of an overall package with that.
yeah, I do believe that, you know, at a certain age, the difference is the self-care
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of diseases are, well, sorry, that just kind of, a lot of diseases are preventable. And if we would, instead of thinking we're depriving ourselves, think more about, well, I'm going to take care of myself. This is self-care.
Right.
When I have that broccoli, I'm going to steam it just right. I'll put a little olive oil on it and I'll spritz it with a little spice. And I'm treating myself so good.
Right.
And versus, oh, I have to have broccoli again and I can't have pizza. I mean, you just have to think about what do you want at the end of the day? What do you want? Not what you want right now, but what do I want to feel like
Mm-hmm.
when I turn 50, 51, 52? What do I feel like now? What am I feeling like now? Those are questions I ask when I'm trying to get people to find their why. Well, what are you feeling like now? When you wake up in the morning, what are you feeling like?
Right. Are you
What do
ready
you
to come home
want
from
to
work,
feel
or
like?
are you ready to go hide under the covers? And this is
Yeah,
I'm going to get you out of there.
yeah, yeah.
I do
So,
have a question from one of our listeners. It's from Carolyn, and she said she hadn't heard about the aluminum before. Are there any other She said, is there any other elements or minerals that we should be avoiding? Like she wasn't familiar with the aluminum thing. Is there anything else that you can share with us that might be a tidbit that we should be more conscious of?
Well, you have to be a little bit conscious of your brown rice and your rice because it has, like arsenic and aluminum, and they're finding a lot of things in the rice. So generally, it's weird, but the U.S. rice is better. It's better for you. So you want to find the non-GMO and find the U.S. rice.
Do you have a couple brands that you like to recommend?
A couple brands that I like to recommend?
Right. Yeah, the brown rice, that would be better.
Well, I steer clear of brown rice myself.
Okay.
Quinoa is the grain I use mostly. So, but I would tell you where you can get good brown rice that's USA. Costco. Costco has great organic section, and their brown rice, they have USA, it'll say right on there, USA, and this is non-GMO, and it has a whole, but I can't remember the name of the brand right off my top of my head.
Okay. Is it the person in the Costco brand, or is it a different brand?
I actually could go look in my cupboard if
you check it out and then on my blog, so you will and check it out, and then maybe we'll also share your recipe, and then we'll see what other recipes when we get your book that we could be enticed with.
Yeah, I was just like, I can't remember the name of the brand, but I have it. I don't do a lot of brown rice, but I don't see a problem with most people doing it. It's just for some reason it affects me differently, so I try to stick with things that quinoa. I'm very gluten sensitive, and I'm very I can't do a lot of dairy or wheat.
Okay.
Got it. And I have all dairy-free, sugar-free, gluten-free recipes in my book.
Wonderful. Okay, yeah. I have to be sure to make sure that I look at your book too. Definitely. So what's one thing, actually, why don't you give us like 3 things that you can do to curb those cravings? Because I know like that nighttime it can come up, or that mid-afternoon lull, or that mid-morning lull. What are some things that we can do to curb either carb cravings or hunger?
Okay, so a really easy one when you're having a carb craving would be if you have some glutamine. You can take either the powdered glutamine or just a capsule. But generally the powdered glutamine, if you just put it under the tongue, 10 minutes, your carb craving will be gone. It will be gone.
Do you recommend a teaspoon of the glutamine, or do you recommend like a teaspoon? What's your serving size?
Oh, like a teaspoon. Okay. Maybe start with a half a teaspoon. But it can be a little gritty. It can be, but I'll tell you right now, I generally will drink it because I can't put it under my tongue. But my friends all put it under their tongue, and they said it completely cures 100% their carb cravings. It's crazy, but it's in the Diet Cure book by Dr. Julia Ross. She talks a lot about the reasoning behind why the glutamine works, and it's one of the #1 go-tos if anybody I have has a huge sugar craving, besides cutting sugar out. The less sugar you eat, the less sugar you want. That's the biggest thing if you want to cut sugar out.
Because it's one of those sugar addiction. The more you have, the more you crave it. Then you have to have more, and then it gets in this big cycle, and you just have to stop it.
Yeah, it's because it is addictive. It's 8 times more addictive than crack cocaine. Sugar is. This is a fact. And so think about that. Okay, whoa, maybe I shouldn't keep the crack in the house. So definitely with the sugar, the less you eat, the less you want. And Also, you need to be prepared because there are going to be times that you have sugar cravings, but don't eliminate carbs out of your diet. They are not the enemy. You have to have good, clean carbs. And so don't feel guilty eating a sweet potato or having some oatmeal or, quinoa and the eggs with some tomato or eat.
Right.
Food is your fuel. It is not, if you eat good food, like I say in the book, I have a chapter, eat carrots, not crap. Don't step over bananas and eat a whole chocolate bar, So that's what happens a lot is we have this food guilt. And we'll like, oh, I can't eat a carrot. That's not on my plan. But then I'll see this over here. I found room to have, right?
Yeah.
So
Like the third stomach, right? Completely empty. I better fill that one up with sugar.
yeah. So I try to get them to realize that if they're eating all their meals on plan, the more they eat, the less they're gonna want. Okay. The less they're gonna be deprived and feel like they have to have all those treats. They're gonna be full. They're gonna be full. And if they're having carbs, they're generally not going to, now I'm not saying that's 100%, but most of the time, if you're having good, clean carbs, your body isn't going to be craving sugar.
Exactly. And having them spaced out a little bit throughout the day, even if it's a cup of oatmeal in the morning and, a cup of quinoa with lunchtime and maybe your afternoon snack, like you said, a rice cake with the almond butter. And then even some vegetables with even a sweet potato at dinner, maybe half a cup to a cup size, or you can go with, right now, all the squashes are in season and all the root vegetables. Those are really great right now. But yeah, and spacing it out a little bit on the up and down swings with the sugar. I think it's so important. We just have a question that came in for you, Linda, and this is from Michelle, and she was just saying that what's the best way to cut out sugar? I don't think I can be consistent, but what is a way that I can start taking out my sugar?
Okay, so I think, another thing I meant to tell, and this would go along with your question, would be do glutamine in the morning. Do it just regularly. Do like a teaspoon or a scoop, whatever it says on the serving package.
In the morning? Do you do that?
In the morning.
Okay.
Yes.
Is it first thing in the morning that you should do?
Yes.
Okay.
First thing in the morning. Great. Yes. Okay. And do that glutamine, and then chromium. Chromium is a huge deal because most of us don't have enough of it, and it's going to keep your blood sugar stable. Because the reason why you're craving that sugar is you're not keeping your blood sugar stable. So what happens is when you have that coffee, by the way, coffee spikes your blood sugar. So you spike, you have a little sugar in your coffee, you crash. And so then what do you want? You want more sugar. You want that fix. So what you've got to do is try to keep your blood sugar more stable by, like what we said, eating every 3 hours, having a carb like every 3 hours, having a clean carb, and a good fat. You need a good fat. That's going to keep your blood sugar stable. Don't be afraid of fat. Fat will take out the bad fat. Make sure you're getting a good fat in your diet. And as you get older, you could add a little. For your hormones. So I will have 3 to 4 tablespoons of good fat, like coconut oil, hemp seed, almond butter, something really good for you. So that actually helps.
Do you do like a little bit in the morning and a little bit in the afternoon? Is that how you kind of space it out?
With the fat?
Yeah.
The fat, with fat. Yeah, I found on my personal plan, and a lot of ladies that are 40 plus, that they do better if they have fat at least like morning, snack, afternoon, and usually I cut it off by about 3:30.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would help a ton. It's getting good fat. Most people I found don't have good fat in their diet at all.
Yeah. French fries do not count as good fat.
I mean, it's a big deal because it sates the brain, and that's the thing. That's the animal you got to get satisfied, because that's what's telling you you want sugar, and your blood sugar is telling your brain you want sugar. So you have to tame the savage beast. Yeah.
Definitely. So are these increasing your fats in the morning and having a little bit in the afternoon? That's one way of increasing your energy throughout the day. Can you give us a couple other ways to increase your energy throughout the day?
Well, this may, oh, what happened? This may sound bizarre, but having clarity is a huge way to increase your energy. Being clear about what it is you want, why you want it, setting your priorities, having your goals straight, so you're not running a million different directions trying to be everything to everybody. So clarity number one is going to provide you with energy, setting your priorities. Then other things, easy things, would be, I like to have the women at my studio do some maca powder, or you can do it capsule. It's excellent. It's a superfood. It basically will help balance your hormones, and it doesn't make you jittery. It's not like a caffeine. It just makes you alert, and you just have this fluid energy. So generally,
like a smoothie, or again, or mix it with coconut water? How do you recommend it?
Smoothies are great. Coffee, if you're having coffee, please let it be organic. But if you're having coffee, put a teaspoon or less. I wouldn't start on a ton of maca if you're not used to it. A half a teaspoon.
Right. Well, because the maca does give you a little burst of energy.
It definitely gives you some energy.
Yeah. So
don't have it at night.
Right? It's not a bedtime drink.
Yeah, you'll be awake. It's not like coffee, though. I don't want anyone to think it's not like a stimulant. You're not like it's different. You're not going to crash and burn. It gives you a pretty steady energy. So I think it's great because it also balances your hormones, and Lord knows we need that. So that is huge. And then the other thing would be ashwagandha. I love ashwagandha. Have you ever tried it?
You know, that I haven't tried.
It's amazing. Okay, that is also something, it's just an herb, and it's not like ephedrine, it's not like caffeine or anything like that. Although you wouldn't want to take too much of it there again. Just one capsule, what it says on the bottle. And I think just take it at the times that your peak energy is low. So you might only need it once a day, once every other day. It's great for stress. It helps your body to manage stress. It's an adaptogen, so it's amazing. I can't say enough about how much I think it works. It's those two things, maca and ashwagandha, are like life-saving.
And you wouldn't take those at the same time. Like you might do the maca in the morning with coffee, and then that,
yeah.
And was that a capsule you said, or was that a powder also?
You probably won't need both. You can do capsules with either one.
Okay.
I like to do the maca in a powder because it gets in your bloodstream and you're ready to go. Yeah. So I like to do the maca in the powder. I feel like it's just it seems to be more effective. And then the ashwagandha, I definitely take in a capsule, and I generally take it around that time when you have a little bit of a lull, like maybe 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon, and you feel like, well, I've got all this to do, I need a little kick. Yeah. So that way, you're not overdoing coffee or stimulant. It's not bad for you. It's just it gives you some great energy. Don't take it too late. I don't think I've ever found it to keep me awake, but I just wouldn't think you'd want to take it past 3.
Yeah, I think that's always a good rule of thumb, let's say, is not take any kind of, whether it's a caffeine or any energy enhancement, that's great. If you're going to bed anywhere between 8, 9, 10 at night, because you want to be able to get it out of your system, so your system is ready to relax and recover and get ready for your next day's adventure. So, Linda, we haven't really got to talk about your book, so let's take the next few moments and can you tell us a little bit more about the Sisterhood of Sweat?
Okay, the Sisterhood of Sweat, strong women, empowering, achieving together. It's all about building each other up, and it's a little bit of everything in the book. It's all-encompassing because I just want everyone to love themselves from the inside out. So that's how I wrote the book, was learning to embrace everything that is you. Sorry, the little bubbles came up again. It's a screensaver, I think. So learning how to embrace everything that is you and turning that and basically building confidence to build health. So we're all-encompassing. We have everything in the book, holistic recipes. I have, anything from something you could have for company and they would be like, wow, is that good for you? That's amazing. To something easy, or that something your kids might want, like mac and cheese, that's actually healthy. And workouts. Now, the workouts are definitely something you could do at home. You don't have to have equipment. You don't have to be at a gym. They're effective. They will get you in shape. I will say, if you're just starting, start with one round because they are strenuous. They're not hard to catch on to. It's not like a dance class, but you definitely will sweat because it's what I'm all about is sweat.
It makes sense.
Yeah. And also, go ahead.
No, I really enjoyed getting my signed copy of the book, and I was just going to say, where can our viewers get their copy of your book?
You can go to Amazon.com and Google the Sisterhood of Sweat, or on my website at ChickFit.me because it's all about you.
Oh, I love it. So, Linda, can you leave us with just 3 takeaway points? I'm always a big person that loves the takeaways. Can you give our viewers and listeners 3 takeaways from you from the ChickFit Studio?
3 takeaways. Yeah. Okay. Life is happening right now. Live it. Seize it. Go for it. Every step. If there's something you want to do, don't leave it unturned. Do it. You don't need anybody's permission but your own to live in your own authentic self, your own happiness. Don't let anyone or anybody keep you from being your authentic self.
I love it. What a pleasure it's been having you here today, Linda. Thank you, and thank you to our viewers for watching and listening. And I'm so excited that you gave them so much information and really good thinking points of how to get to their why and easy ways to get their snacks and unhooking their perfectionism. And I really thank you, Linda. It was a wonderful time having you here today.
Thank you so much, Laura. I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys all become Sisters of Sweat.
We will. Thank you. Until next time.
Thanks.